Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 3 of Living Room Learning, and of course, welcome back to my living room. I so appreciate you watching this video, and I look forward to chatting with you and talking with you in the comments. All right, let's review a little bit about what we've done in the past. The first episode was us going over and talking about what to do when you're uncomfortable and how to help yourself calm down. Episode 2 was about how to use descriptive language or describing words to give more specific information about what it is that we're talking about. And today we are going to actually talk about a combination of both of those things. So what we're going to do is discuss emotions and different words we can use to describe our emotions, and especially to describe how those emotions feel in our bodies when we're feeling them. You know, a lot of us struggle with being able to talk about what we're feeling when we're feeling it, or we struggle with being able to describe what it feels like. Another area that often people struggle with is being able to understand what feeling they're experiencing and how that's attached to their body. So that's why we're going to talk about this today, and I hope you find it helpful. All right, the first thing that I'm just going to review real quick is one of the handouts I made, and this is something that has our 6 main emotions on there: happy, angry, sad, afraid, surprised, disgusted. And under each of those pictures and words, you'll see some additional words. And what those are the more specific vocabulary words that could also describe a little bit more detail an emotion where you might identify it as happy, but that could also be joyful or proud or loving or content, confident, or playful. Those are just a handful of examples. There's plenty of other words that could also mean happy. But if I say I'm happy, you might understand that I'm in a good mood and that I'm doing well. But if I say I'm playful, that gives you more information. That means I want to joke around and I want to play. Another example is if I tell you I'm surprised, that may give you some information about what is going on with me. But if I tell you that I'm startled, you might understand that I'm not happy about being surprised. I'm startled. I'm a little bit scared. So those types of words beneath the main feeling words are the ones that are more specific. And if you don't know what all of these words mean or how to describe the differences, that may be something that you want to decide to work on. If you're someone who's working on expanding your vocabulary and being able to describe what's going on in your emotional world a little bit more detail, then learning the difference between frustrated and hurt and how to describe those, that may be a really good area for you to work on. I'm not going to go over all of those tonight because that might get a little bit boring. However, what we are going to go through is this worksheet. This looks similar, but you'll notice that after or under all of those emotion words, there's a blank space. And that blank space is there so that we can talk about what these emotions feel like in our bodies when we're feeling them. And I'm going to write down some examples that are relevant to me and the way that I feel things, but that certainly does not mean it's the same for you. In fact, I would expect the way that I feel things in my body to be very different than the way that you feel things. There may be some things that are in common, but we are different people. So I don't want your lists to look just like mine. I want you to spend some time thinking about what your body feels like when you're happy or angry or surprised. So let's go through a few of these, and I'll just do mine as an example, and hopefully you'll be able to print this out and either write or draw or work with a partner to write down your answers. And before I get started, please know that this is a very personal type of exercise to do. This worksheet may make you think, and it may be something that you don't know the answer to yet, so you'll have to keep thinking about it for a while, and that's okay. We don't always have to have the answers right away. So let's see. I will start with happy. So I'm going to ask myself the question, what does my body feel like when I feel happy? And I kind of have to think about that. So I'm going to pause and think before I answer. So that way I give my brain enough time to catch up. So what does my body feel like when I'm happy? All right. I think I'm ready to start answering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write them here and then I'll turn it around and show you. If we were together or we were in my office, I would have it on a whiteboard where we could see at the same time. But for this exercise, since I'm here and you're there, I'll write it and then show it to you. All right, so when I feel happy, one thing I notice about my body is that I smile. I smile a lot when I'm feeling happy, and I also have a lot of energy. So I'm going to write energetic. It means I have a lot of energy. When I'm in a good spot and my brain's feeling good and I'm feeling happy inside, it comes out in my body as some energy. One other thing that happens for me is that I feel lighter. And I know that might sound weird and that's not very concrete, but think about it this way. When I feel sad or when I'm really angry, I get all tight and my shoulders are tense or my shoulders drop down and everything feels heavy. When I'm happy, everything is relaxed and I feel lighter. I don't feel like there's as much pressure in my shoulders or in my back or my neck. So that's what I mean by lighter. And you can even try that too. So if you want to kind of pretend when you're feeling angry, and if you have a lot of tension, you can squeeze and see what that feels like. And then when you let go and you think about something that makes you happy, you might feel a little bit lighter as well. All right, so far I've written that when I'm feeling happy, I know I'm feeling happy because my body is smiling. I have more energy, I'm feeling lighter, and usually when I feel happy, I notice that I'm laughing more. So I might put laughing. And again, that might not be true for you, and that is just fine. All right, I've written words, but like I said earlier, you are more than welcome to draw pictures. You might just use different colors. Whatever represents the way you feel in your body to you is what works for you. All right, so those are some good clues that I'm feeling happy. When I'm smiling, I feel energetic, I'm laughing, my body's feeling pretty light. That usually tells me that I'm pretty happy. We'll do 2 more together, and that way you'll have some time to be able to work through these, but you can think about all of them over time. You don't have to do all of them at once. I'll just do 3 for our video today. The next one that I will pick is angry. And angry is something that a lot of us don't want to talk about sometimes. Maybe we feel bad about being angry or we don't like the way it feels, so we try to turn it off. But I would encourage you to really think about it and maybe ask a partner or someone in your house to do it with you and really think, what does my body feel like when I feel angry? And let's see, I'll answer that. When I'm angry, I frown. Or my face looks really tight. So when I'm angry, you can usually tell because my eyebrows are kind of down and in, my face is kind of scrunched up. Usually if you see me with this kind of a face, you know that I'm not happy. Usually when I'm happy, I'm much more relaxed. My eyebrows are relaxed, my shoulders are relaxed. But when I'm angry, my face is scrunched and it's tight. So angry, it's tight, and I have a unhappy face. My eyebrows are scrunched. There's another word for that. You can call it furrowed, but we'll use the word scrunched for now. That's what I have room to write. So another thing that I notice in my body when I get angry is I move really fast. You'll see me and my foot will be tapping. I don't know if anybody else taps their foot when they're angry, but my foot will bounce up and down, and I walk fast and I don't want to slow down. I have a lot of energy to move. I need to go quickly. So I'll write that I move fast. And another thing that happens for me, especially when I'm really angry, if there's a huge problem or something that has really upset me in a big way, I don't talk. I choose not to talk when I'm really angry. So I get very quiet. And sometimes that's because I haven't figured out what I need to say yet. That would be helpful. Or sometimes it's because I know the things that I'm thinking aren't helpful. So I try to keep them in my head until I'm around someone that I can talk about in an angry way if I need to talk about some of those angry feelings. So my face is tight, I'm moving fast, I have a lot of kind of that bouncy energy in my body, and I don't talk. So those are some good ways for me to know that I'm angry. The other thing is that my heart beats really quickly. That's probably true for a lot of people. Because when you have a lot of energy like that and you have a lot of big feelings, your blood can flow faster and your heart can race. Heart beats quickly. So you can see my answers there. Quiet. My heart's beating quickly. I'm moving fast. And everything is tight and my face is kind of scrunched up. That's a big difference from happy, right? So if I am sitting around like this and I'm moving quickly, I know that I'm not happy because I'm not smiling. I don't feel light. I feel really tight and I'm not laughing. So there's a really clear line between if I'm happy or if I'm angry because of the way my body is showing you that and the way my body's feeling. All right. The next one that I think I will do is surprised. And this one I'm choosing intentionally because for me, the feeling of anger and the feeling of surprise don't feel that different. I know they're different, but in my body, they don't feel that different. So it's not like happy and angry where they aren't similar at all. Angry and surprised are pretty similar, and I'm going to talk about how I know the difference between the two. All right, so when I feel surprised, and spoiler alert, I don't like surprises. I'm not someone who wants to have a surprise party. I don't want you to jump out from behind a corner and play a joke on me and startle me. I just don't like surprises, and I never have. So don't surprise me. So when I'm surprised, let's take an example like I am walking down the hallway and a door slams. We'll take that kind of example of a surprise. I immediately get tight. My shoulders go up, my arms come in, and I immediately have that same tight type of feeling. All right. The other thing that happens is I start to move fast. I get kind of jittery and I'm kind of bouncing around. So that's similar to anger too. I just kind of get, I don't really shake, but I just have a lot of that kind of movement. And I tend to move quickly when I get surprised. All right. Another thing that's similar to angry is that when I'm surprised, my heart beats very quickly. And that might be true of you too. When we get surprised, sometimes our heart goes a little crazy. Heart beats quickly. The difference though, there's two big differences. One, I don't get quiet when I get surprised. It's the opposite. Usually if something happens like that surprises me, I'll go, and I'll make noise. So as when I'm angry, I get really quiet. When I'm surprised, I usually will gasp or make a noise. And another thing that's different, and this might be something to pay attention to for you, is, when I get angry, I will usually stay angry for a while. I won't stay angry for 6 days, but I might stay angry for a day or two. Sometimes it's quicker than that. Sometimes it's only for a few hours. But when I'm surprised, especially in an example like a door slams and it surprises me, startles me, that's pretty quick. So usually, you hear the door slam, you jump, you gasp a little bit, and then you can start to calm down once you know that it's over. Angry tends to last a little bit longer for me. So that's one thing. Surprised doesn't last long. So this is where we really have to pay attention to details, right? Angry and surprised kind of feel similar. So I have to work out in my brain to help myself understand, what's the difference? How do I know the difference between angry and surprised? And you might find that there's some things that are similar for you too. You might find that your feelings between angry and afraid are pretty similar. Everything could be very different. I don't know, but it's smart to try and figure some of these things out and make sure that you understand them, because what can happen, let's say I don't know how to use emotion words very, very well. Someone who loves me or cares about me might come up and say, "Hey, Kelly, you look upset. What's wrong?" And if I don't know how to describe it and use some words to talk about it, I'm going to not answer the question very well. And I'm going to say, "I don't know." Or I'm going to say, "I'm just tired." But that's not true, and that's not accurate. And if we don't know how to describe what we're feeling and what's happening in our bodies and what our emotions feel like, it's really hard for other people to help us or to support us. If I walk up to my husband and I say, "Hey, what's wrong? You look pretty upset." And he says, "I don't know." I don't know how to be very helpful to him. But if I walk up to my husband and I say, "Hey, your face is kind of scrunched up and you seem to be moving around really fast. What's going on?" And he says, "I'm just angry. And I'm angry because it took me so long to get home, and then I dropped my plate of food on the floor, and now I'm just angry." And he takes the time to describe that to me, then I have some clues as a person who loves him and cares about him of how to help. And how to kind of join in with him, because then I can say, "Oh, that is really sad. That's unfortunate. I'd be upset too if I dropped my food on the floor." And it allows for us to connect, and that's usually what a lot of us want. We want to connect with other people, and using some more specific language about the way we feel can often help with that. So I hope these worksheets help and give you a nice activity to think about, maybe for this week or for a while. And I encourage you to either work with someone that you love, someone in your family, or share what you learn about yourself with someone that you love or someone that's a friend of yours, because it always helps to share what we learn about ourselves, if we want to and we're comfortable with that, because then we get to be a little bit closer with those of us, the people that are around us. So if you have any questions, if you need some more examples, or you need to reach out about anything, please comment below and I will get back with you. And I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your week. Thanks.